Hi guys. I just looked in the chat and Chris already said that I'll just read it out loud, okay? Hey guys, very slight delay. We'll start at 8:20, give or take a minute or a few. Free to talk about anything nice and productive. Then I will draw a bit and talk to you guys to keep the questions coming. As always, keep it civil, don't spam, harass, bully, or say racist things, or you will get booted for minor things. I will first put you in a short timeout. After that, if you continue, you will be booted. Other than that, have a good time, ask questions, and interact. She will try to get to most questions, but not the ones that spam the same question over and over. We're building a respectful community here, so follow the rules and we will do our best to help everyone. I'm her husband and security too, so be polite. We're all friendly here, but do have rules. That's the policies. That's what my husband says, and yeah, I completely agree with him. So now I'm in a coffee shop. It's 8:20 now in Vietnam, Nha Trang. I'm gonna get my coconut, some water to get more hydrated, and as you can see, I have some sketching materials. I have a couple pencils, the eraser, and the notebook. So in the meantime, I'll just wait for more viewers coming in, and today it's gonna be Q&A and drawing. A lot of people know me from karaoke, know me from doing some training and boxing specifically, some sprinting as well. But I don't think many of you know that I'm also I'm an artist, actually quite trained artist. Lately, I haven't been doing it quite often since we came here in Vietnam, and I want to fix it. I just got this sketchbook today to do some sketching, and actually I'm gonna even take some requests. It's gonna be more like a brief type of sketching, and yeah, I have another phone here, so I'm gonna take some references in my another phone, and yeah, I'm gonna try to sketch mostly portraits. I'm always been loving doing some portraits. Okay, the biceps flex. Here's the biceps. Okay, that's already almost 30 views now. So just repeating, guys, today it's a drawing and sketching session plus Q&A. So I got this sketching notebook, and many of you don't know, but I know how to draw and do some sketches. So we'll try to do something today, okay? So the first one, it's not gonna be a request. I'm just gonna draw a silhouette, and yeah, feel free. Got my water here now. And my coconut. Oh, gotta be careful. But yeah, so I'm just gonna do like a quick silhouette and just see where I get to. It's been a while since I drew like fully, and yeah, it's been quite a while since I've done any type of sketching, So right now I'm just gonna do like a body silhouettes, like a feet body, male. I'm using lighter pencil. It's the B number, so it's basically second the lightest. With that one, you would do like the first layers just to put some blueprint for your sketch. Okay, so yeah, just a body silhouette. I'm gonna take some requests and try to, if you tell me a person, and I'll select and take a picture from just for the reference, and I'll be able to try to do the general sketch. It's not gonna be way many details. It's just gonna be more of the, setting the character, and that's what you want to do when you're doing a simple sketching. You want to learn how to, through the, like not the streak lines, but like more chaotic lines. Hi everyone. I only draw with pen, Jackson says. I hate the feel of pencil. Well, yeah, fair enough. It's, everyone has their own preferences. I honestly use different materials. I can paint and draw. I've been doing like the oil paintings, and but my favorite is more like a black and white, so I just stick to that. Anyways, yeah, I just like drawing with the pencils, the charcoal, with the pens as well. And so yeah, also right now, even though I'm doing like a quite classic type of, quite proportional body, I'm gonna show you in a bit, okay? When I just finish putting here. All right, so we have a male figure, male silhouette here. Okay, so this is what we have for now. There are no shadows, nothing yet. It's just a blueprint. And so what I want to do, I'm gonna use, certain shadow techniques, just putting like applying basic shadows and reflections in the right places to create the sense of the volume. You got an OnlyFans, Hadi? No, I don't, and I don't plan at all. And well, my husband gonna confirm. He's in chat. What I do instead is trying to, stream and be helpful for people. So today it's a little bit out of topic of my channel at all. As I said, like a lot of people don't know that I draw, but I actually can give you some good pointers how to try to learn drawing, and basically just being able to draw something from the real life. That is a good exercise. And it is possible, yes, it is possible to learn drawing, guys, okay? So, okay, now I'm just gonna start applying the shadows, the shades, hair, like it's gonna be more of the silhouette, it's still gonna be not like a certain defined features, but it's going to create the character, so you're going to understand what I'm drawing, and it's going to feel quite, well, not realistic exactly, but it's going to feel like a sketch, like the accomplished sketch. Why are you her manager? Well, he's my husband. So actually, to being able to draw a proper body, there are certain proportions. I was taught on the Da Vinci easier type of body proportion, which is basically just like putting like a basic, splitting the body in several sections and, having certain measures. I don't do it anymore like on the paper, I just do it automatically. But it helped me to really learn the proportions, and it is good because you also learn you learn anatomy of the body quite well, like the muscles, how how it should look, what is like, the definitions, the directions of the muscles, when you're trying to draw a naked body. Okay, so I'm keep drawing featuring the details. I'm going out of my blueprint as well, that's like the blueprint was like for the general usage. So now I'm just using eraser to make sure that it's now in the place. Okay. It's a men's silhouette. So far you can see it's getting more definition, here, the traps, the body, face, etc. Okay. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. You're so talented. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, repeating guys, never OnlyFans. It's a waste of your life. Okay. Okay, moving to the lower body. Defining the quads, following the general proportion. Okay, I think it's getting all together quite well. It's let me even lower it a little bit. So yeah, this is where we're getting. And yeah, if you're a beginner, you really want to learn how to do it, how to do sketching, because that is a good exercise in general to be able to actually draw bigger pieces and then essentially paint. You need to learn sketching first. And obviously you can't just do, you also can do like your freestyle drawing, you can do like painting and obviously some abstraction and stuff, but in general, like if you want to follow the academical blueprint, you would want to learn proper sketching, the body sketching, the facial sketching, like try to draw some items, learn the perspective, the lighting, the shadows, all of that kind of stuff. That would really enhance your abilities, okay? Something like that. Okay, now we're gonna, so you see, the silhouette is already done. There's some adjustment needs to be done, but I'm now gonna start, doing some lining and some shadowing just to make it feel real, feel like a silhouette. erase the extra lines here. So let's just put on him some tracks like this. So just we have a proper body silhouette, but also my husband says be polite. You got a good, you got a slimmer physique. Well, I'm a boxer, so I don't have as wide shoulders as swimmers do usually, but it's pretty, yeah, I have quite wide shoulders, I admit that. Okay. Yeah, featuring some bones as well. The Adam's apple. No, just a little line, you know, it's not, doesn't have to be anything too detailized, if you know what I mean. Okay, here we go. Biceps, forearms. So I kind of move like use the circuit type of movements to feature, you see, those linings and actually make it feel like a body. So here you see quads, knees, certain features on the joints, you know, feet. He has quite a big feet comparing to his body. Now I'm gonna move up to the face, and yeah, now I'm gonna make a facial definition. The ear positioning is slightly different with everyone, but it's pretty much should be somewhere in the, like, you know, this area. Sometimes it's a little bit higher, sometimes it's a little bit lower. In my case, if you can see, it is on the lower part. And that's the interest. Like you would want to draw something that is not conventional, out of proportion, like a classic proportion, because most of people's faces are actually not, they're not exactly proportional, and they're like, they're leaving the borders of the conventional facial proportion. And that's the best, the most interesting things to draw, the most interesting faces when they're not really matching that blueprint. So that means you will have to improvise. So as I said, it's gonna be like a silhouette, like, you know, it's. So I'm gonna, after I finish the face, I'm gonna start applying the shadows. So it's not very detailed sketch. It's just like it's just a generalized sketch, you know, not too vague, not too specific. Okay. I see some familiar people here. Chris, Aiden, did you elect yourself to be a moderator, and why did you do it so? Well, he's my husband, so I put himself as a moderator. There is a crystal clear fact about drawing, and it's that drawing is such an effective way of practicing concentration. Kids often do it and they can focus their attention even for hours by drawing. That was exactly my childhood. I was that kid, and I completely agree. That is also one of the skill sets that teaches you a good observational skills. You know, literally start perceiving the life in completely different ways. So when you walk around, for example, it's not just a tree out there. It's you look at its details. You look at the positioning, comparing to that building over there, for example, the distance, and like, you know, you kind of start imagining how would you put that on the piece of paper. And yeah, that is like a very interesting way of seeing the world. Okay, so I'm all good. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Chris says, well, he's my husband. My husband says, she has too many talents, yes, and her husband, I wonder sometimes. In time, I'll teach her skydiving and wingsuit also, so she will be an agent. Yeah, that might be a thing in the future. You seem like the type of CIA would recruit. Okay, fight well, probably know multiple languages, drawing and observation, high IQ. It's pretty obvious. I mean, I was just always a curious kid. Let's put it that way. Okay, anyways, I'll read the one more and I'm gonna keep going with my sketch. Yeah, for sure, it's an exercise on observation, and it is actually starts from observation. People who engage in drawing are often natural observers, not in all cases, of course, but observing is basic. Yeah, I mean, if they do it naturally, it's kind of their tendency. They are natural observers, I agree. But at the same time, I know that you can learn drawing. I know personally people who, being considered non-talented, I wasn't that kid. Like, I was picking up everything very, very quickly, and I was very fast drawer. Like, I would put the project very quickly. The people would take like 2 months. I would do it in 2 hours, and then kind of, you know, disappear for 2-3 months. And I was more focusing on sports because actually that, for whatever reason, I didn't feel special there. You know, I had to earn certain things, and I like that more. But when I was at the same time doing sports, karate and boxing, and then I was also doing, I was going to this art school, like a part-time art school. I was, I was going there, doing some things, then would disappear for some time. And but I also remember that one kid who was considered to be a talentless, you know, and no one really paid that much attention to him. But he was like consistent. He would go there and he would draw for years and practice and practice and practice. And what happened now, he is like a brilliant artist. I think like way better than I am. The skills that they acquired, I believe that practice in the beginning, just the raw practice, helped him to at a certain point get to the state where one day you just wake up and that accumulated practice kind of gives you you start seeing the things differently. So you unlock your talent, sort of thing, and then it goes faster and more exponential. I witnessed that with both people doing art, like drawing and painting, and also singing. I've seen that like people just practicing, not really having as called very good potential for it, but they were practicing consistently, and that just one day it just all aligns and they kind of unlock their talent or potential. I don't know how to call that exactly, but this is how since then, this is like when I witnessed it myself and other people, I realized that it is possible. The practice and training is 95%, 99% of the work and the success, rather than when the talent is maybe just 1%. So I wish I could draw. Well, that's the thing. You can start practicing, and well, as long as you start like you really enjoy it, it's possible to get better at it. Obviously, you need to commit the time to it, and stuff like that. But generally, it is possible to become very good at it. Okay, let's move to the color, to the shading. Okay, so I already colored the trucks. And now I'm gonna, with the same pencil, I'm gonna apply like just the basic shading just to give it a little bit of volume, and then I have a darker one I'm gonna feature the silhouette, and I'll show you. So how I do streaks, let me show you this. A lot of like the basics in the drawing, you learn doing this. That's what you do. You just learn creating the streak like this, and then you would do sideways, and then the other way, and then you go, for example, darker, and then you go gradually lighten it up and creating this nice transition. So this is kind of how you do it, okay? And it's quite a lot of practice. I'll tell you a funny story from my first days in the art school. So I'm around in the 4th or 5th grade, and so we have the separate subject that's like graphics. So this is what you learn. This is the first thing, even before trying to draw the circle and shade it and do other objects. You would just do the streaks. And our teacher she was an interesting lady, I would say that way. She was obsessed with her craft. And it's very common. A lot of people just use their finger to just even it out. And I don't think it's anything wrong with it. As long as you achieve the result, why not? You can do it with your fingers. I'm not that strict, but in an academical point of view, that is that is a crime. So I'm sitting and doing this, and I'm essentially just started using evening it out with my finger, and she just stands over me, and she's like this weird lady with this massive glasses. She looked a little bit like this professor who was teaching the mood mongering and predicting the future in Harry Potter. Like that lady with the chaotic hair and like those massive glasses is like being a little bit socially awkward, but also very, very impulsive when it comes to certain things. And she was like, "What you're doing?" And I'm like, it scared the shit out of me. She's like, "You shouldn't do it." It's like I committed a crime or something. And I remember since then I never ever did that again for many years. But I got very good at shading, So yeah, it's a little funny story from my childhood. Okay, but now I'll start just the basic shading, So in the beginning, you also need to establish where the light's gonna come from and where it's gonna be the darker part, okay? So right now, I'm just not leaving any light color areas, like white areas. I'm gonna just put like a light shade on entire body, kind of set the tone for it, okay? And it depends on the sketch. It doesn't have to be very, very even. It can be just like a little bit more like the harsher streaks. It can be more like evened out. It's literally up to what type of sketch are you trying to draw, or also up to your patience. That's one thing I'm not very patient with. I'm a quick drawer. I like to just go and just literally just do it fast, and just put the character in and make something interesting out of it. I'm not really a fan of doing how to say that, very detailed work, though. I mean, I can do it, and sometimes it's just a matter of discipline. I set myself to that goal. Okay, now I'm already adding some basic shades, okay? So So I'm just gonna do it as quick as I can so I can show you how that would look. I can also tell you that I'm quite intuitive drawer, because like I learned all those techniques, I practiced them, you know. I kind of like I wish I could teach you more of the perspective, like how the lighting lays on and how you could learn it better. Basically, you can just choose the spot, like literally do the two straight the lines towards the object. That will be the light, and this is how it would lay, and then everything else would be the dark. But it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit more than that. And if you really want to look into it, they're very good drawing channels in the YouTube, that kind of content that are just gonna help you to learn it better and understand it better, how the lighting works. And there's certain cavities in our bodies there, like I'll show you the joint areas, the, you know, like armpits and elbows automatically are always darker, you know, no matter what you do. There is a certain like a line of the shades laying on it, and it already creates a good sense of the volume. Like you really create that effect. Obviously, you gotta be careful before going too dark, for example, you know, and like put it, like being out of control. That can really, like, it's better to apply it gradually than actually, you know, ruin your drawing. You can ruin it with making it too dark and, you know, keep making darker and darker, and at some point you're like, okay, now I need to use a razor, but it already messes up the papers and the structure. So just how to apply those layers gradually. It's better to keep it lighter, keep it slower, and then 1 second. And then make it darker. A lady is drawing and wants to help people draw, so a bunch of gross guys be gross. Let's species down. Anyways, I mean, people are gonna be gross in the internet because it's in the internet, because that's something they wouldn't do to a person to their face. They wouldn't be able to say those things most of the time. So, I mean, it's very simple. People who are disrespectful, not only to me, but especially to others in the chat, and just creating distraction, they're just going to be kicked out from the channel, just hid from the channel. And my husband and other moderators are helping me with that. So okay, I'm not trying to, yeah, as I said, put the first layers of the shadows, like just to make it feel more spacious, more like have the body to have the volume and stuff like that. There are certain areas that are more forward, like for example, even now you can see well my cheekbones, my nose, my like bottom of the, right above the eyebrows, the forehead are one of the lightest areas. So same goes for the upper lip area and the chin. So those are more pronounced. Here you have more shades because this is how our faces are usually structured. Obviously it depends. Well, is the person's face more rounded or more featured? You would try to recreate that effect through putting the shadows in the right places and doing good smooth transitions in between. It doesn't matter if you do darker sketch or lighter sketch. The same rule goes for all of it. So I'm almost done with applying like a basic shadows here. Okay, almost done. Just need a little bit more time. If if you really want to create like a good sense of definition and like the texture, just try to do like different direction streaks. Just apply layer on or over layer, and that's just gonna create like a net. It's gonna apply like a net layer on the layer, and it's gonna create a very nice smooth texture. So you can literally with the way how you do the streaks, you can control the texture. So with the hair, for example, I would go only like one direction, slightly shifting the directions to create the feeling of the hair. With the skin, I would do multi-directional streak to kind of put it in, make it feel more even. Okay, to every now and then use the eraser, but try to avoid using it pretty much. Sometimes don't use it at all. Just try to create whatever it's gonna be able to create, and enjoy the process. Okay, I'm just looking at the chat briefly. Okay, it's quite a busy chat. Thank you, Steven, for helping to moderate as well. Steven is one of our moderators, so yeah, no bullshit, guys. Hello, enjoy your art. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Can you draw anything? Well, I pretty much can, like, just take an object, a person. Right now, I'm just doing like a generalized sketch, but in a bit, I'm just gonna, try to do some portrait. I'm gonna ask you which one would you want me to do. Okay, so look at this, guys. This is pretty much now a silhouette. So it already feels like it has the shade, it has the shape, and to make it even more, to make the definition even better, we can add a more detailized. So I'm gonna get the darker pen. So that is actually quite a big difference between, this is just a B and this is B9. So the difference is quite big. You would want to have like different other pencils in between to, it depends, for sketching it's not necessary, but if you're actually creating a graphic piece, you need as many as you can, so you can control the shading, and it all has a different pressure. I can show you. So this is the darkest, and here. So this is the B and this is the 9. It already has like quite a big difference in its tone. For sketching, it's not necessary. You can get the lighter one just to put a blueprint. You can get the darker one and actually exercise how to control the darkness, and not make it too dark with the darker one. That's also a good exercise. Draw a tree growing from the concrete. What? Smoke. I'll actually, yeah, might do that right on this page. Anyways, I'll continue. Okay, to this sketch, I don't want to make it like, for too long. I wanted to switch for something else, but I'm just gonna, as I said, I'm gonna finish this one, apply the darker details to it to make it feel more featured. even though it's like the face is small, but I'm trying to create the character, so I want to make him quite focused and serious, right? So I'm applying shades. Like, I'm not featuring eyes specifically here. That's not my intention, and that's completely fine. Now I'm doing like a smooth smooth shading, so I'm not doing like streaks. This is quite dark, so, and the sketch is quite small, so I just make it and with the darker pencils, you gotta be more careful, you know, make sure that you don't really make it too dark. Now try to be careful with the detailing. Adam's apple. There's some people who are very, very good at those skills. Like I haven't done it in a while, so it might not be ideal sketch, but I'm just trying to use the skill set I always used to have, and you know, just get as much as I can out of it. Okay, here. know, gradually darkening it up. And I really like darker shades, so I really do enjoy, you know, making it darker and featuring it even more. Like this guy gonna be quite ripped, okay? So it's gonna feel quite ripped. Already feels, but like I'm trying to make the muscle definition quite visible here. No. Also, like with the lines I already put, you know, the lines I already put in the, you know, here between the muscles, you know, just to make a little better definition of the muscular definition. I kind of follow that blueprint. So even when I do shading, you know, I darken it up in some like where it's supposed to be. For example, here, you know, like this areas, I'm slightly darkening it up so it creates a good muscular definition. Yeah, feel free to have conversations, people. Just, yeah, enjoy the chat, and thank you for stopping by. Using different techniques, so if you can see, there are techniques you can use, like, you know, just like this kind of streaks. They're like, you know, like more attached streaks. That's basically just like doing this kind of shading. You can even do like a, you know, circuit shading, you know, it depends what kind of sketch you want. You can do like a circuit shading, and you see it's all of them give a little different effect. You can also mix those depending what kind of texture you want to create. Okay. Yeah, just gonna try to keep going and make it look good. Yeah, sometimes I need to kind of focus because I am honestly not very used to. I'm not very used to drawing and talking at the same time. I'm usually always silent most of the time, so yeah, just need to make sure that I can talk, but I also can stay focused on the sketch. And don't be scared to make a mistake, okay? So you can do it briefly and just test yourself how you're doing at the brief sketching kind of type of work, rather than go way too absorbed on it and detailized. No, just practice brief sketching. It's gonna be you're gonna just you gotta let it go and just relax, okay? No need to hyper focus on it and just really it's up to you, but as I said, you can, in my opinion, just a good way to. So now you're trying to do some ab definition. Go a little bit faster here, so the lines are not that even. And shadows from the hands and stuff like that. That's a good thing to feature. It's sometimes it depends where the light comes from, but it's there is always a little shadow line, pretty much. Okay, hi everyone, guys. Making sure that some areas that are actually supposed to be darker are not light, okay? They're not too light, because for example, I'm now trying to darken up the stomach because it's not supposed to be the lightest area, okay? And also the good way is you can even it out if you want to go faster. What you can do, in the end, we're going to use the eraser to just feature the highlights, and it's gonna become even more spacious and gonna look quite good. How's you getting there? I made my drawings public to any means. Some of them are at my father's house, others were lost a long time ago. I can relate to that, same in my situation. I also used to draw to mock at people, such as my teachers dressed like clowns. That's funny way to do it. I never mocked anyone, but I remember just doing basically sketching everywhere, even in my math notebook. And my teacher was essentially you know what, just do it. You're an artistic kid. And she would let me. So there were some numbers, homework, and entire math notebook where I would do both school work and homework. And there were the sketches and the whole comic type of scenarios in the so kids would like to come over and watch it and just scroll it through, and yeah. So basically that's how I've been doing math. You remind me of Kate Winslet, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Okay, I actually did the upper body pretty much. So now moving to the trucks, gonna make them slightly darker, basically create the black shade. but with the slight definition, so you can see that it's not just colored black. It's gonna be, you're gonna see the definition of the groin and all the rest. Okay. As I said, I like dark sketches, so let me show you so far. Okay, so it's more. You can see that it's a little bit way too light in the bicep, so I'm just gonna smooth it down a little bit here, a little bit on the chest as well, especially on the middle of the chest. Also considering that I didn't use highlights yet. I didn't use the, so yeah. Didn't use the highlights yet. Moving down to the legs. Featuring the knee and the calf area, squats as well. Darkening up in the cavities. So the top of the knee, top of the quad is gonna be slightly lighter. Everything else goes a little bit darker, and that's okay. Try it out, because it's just a brief sketch. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just I'm practicing now, so I'm basically just reminding myself how to do sketching, basically. Also, a lot of definition you would add it from through the bottom shadow and the background shadow as well. But yeah, right now that's just not. I'll do that in the end a little bit. But you really can go even darker if you want. You can go even darker if you want. Okay, moving to another leg. Moving to another leg. So now I'm kind of using my style that I've always been doing, like quite chaotic. Just brief, but works for me. And as long as I put the character in place, that is my main intention, it works well. Okay. Set. If I'm gonna stick too long to it, I'm gonna try to make it perfect, but there is like no point. Okay, so this is the silhouette now, and let's just try to clean it up a little bit, and that should be pretty much fine. Okay, let's add some highlights. Be careful because the rubber can get dirty, so you gotta clean it up. it's gonna be not perfect highlights because Actually, that rubber is like a wrong one, not the best one for the highlight work. Should still gonna be fine. Oh, yeah, that's not a good one. So next time I'm just gonna try to make sure the highlights are there without, you know, you can do highlights differently. You can just leave a highlight space and let's add some shadow. So because it's like a kind of frontal lighting, we're just gonna get like a neutral shadow. It is not directed that much to anywhere. And the way how you do shadow, I'll show you in a second. It's not just the piece of the shadow and like the black spot. You want to even it out. If it's colder shadow, it's more defined, but it still has like a very slight fade in the border. If it's like a far shadow, it's going to be way more vague. So it's like a little bit of like a landscape. And take the lighter one for it. You can always mix. You can always mix, guys, if you want. Okay, so this is kind of a silhouette. So it's been a sketch that it's been a while that I drew sketches, so that's what we got. And it's not perfect. Like if you want to keep working on it, make the darker areas darker, the lighter areas lighter, you can do it. But I'm not gonna stop there. I'm just gonna go to something else. So actually, an idea. Do you want me to draw someone specifically? I'm just gonna ask you guys, and I'm gonna pick a person whose portrait I can draw. Because the channel is about boxing and martial arts. Let's just pick a person, like a famous person, an athlete, as a mixed martial artist or a boxer. It's up to you. Just do a little. I'm not gonna do Paul, Merab, Islam, okay, Terence Crawford. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna take a poll and do the poll, okay? Of the few of the names you already mentioned. Just give me a second. Let's add the poll. And type it out. Should I draw? Okay, who was Jon Jones? Jon Jones. Who was Islam? Some add options. Sorry guys, I need to type to Terence Crawford. Who else was there? Kind of forgot now. Merab Dvalishvili. And okay, that's it. Okay, I'm starting the poll. Choose someone from this four And it's gonna be portrait, okay? So because body always takes a little bit longer time, so I'm just gonna take a portrait, which is even better because I can focus on, you know, features like eyes, nose, you know, do proper features. I actually have drawn Merab in the charcoal, like he's one of his famous pictures and the stances. I'm gonna, just for you guys, I'm gonna make a little, like a short video, and I'm gonna upload it on my YouTube in the shorts after the stream, and you're gonna be able to see the drawing picture. Let's see. Well, Terrence and Jones, because they're black, it's actually very interesting. It's very, very interesting to draw black people with the, like, you know, charcoal and the pencil, because it like ends up to be beautiful, but it's also, you know, you gotta make it dark, you know, but you also gonna work around the highlights and all of that kind of stuff. So it is very interesting practice. Just letting you know, and I'm like, and don't start like, I hope nobody's gonna call me racist or something. I'm talking through the artistic point of view. Same with the body types. We always would say that the person with the disformed body, obese, like obese type of people, you know, like with the extra fat, they are the ones who are like it's interesting to draw them because they're not conventional. Canada loves red hats. I appreciate it. Okay, so far Islam Makhachev is winning, but I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer. What type of martial art do you do? Specifically boxing as the main sport, but I've been training different stuff because that's, you know, it's easy to get around that community of people from different martial arts, mixed martial arts, kickboxing, BJJ, and, you know, you kind of practice together, teach each other some stuff. So I have an experience of training and trying to train all of them, but boxing is like a main. From Michael Jackson, he's black too. Well, I mean, I can take the picture when before the surgeries. But right now, let's just stick to the pole and let's just look into that. I did BJJ and want to get into kickboxing. Good for you. So it means that you have a grappling experience and now you want to build up your striking. I think that's a smart way to do it. The funny fellows to draw, such as famous heavyweight boxers like Holyfield with his funny mustache, or Foreman with his intimidating presence, or Mayweather with his mocking facial expressions. Yeah, that is very interesting. That's why we're talking about putting the character. So first, you gotta build, especially when it comes to the portraits, you gotta build the right blueprint. If you don't spend enough time and focus on that, and if you just, you know, have some proportion out of line, that kind of, okay, you kind of know who is that, but it doesn't really like looks realistic. It doesn't really show their character. Then there is no point starting, you know, shading, because that's what a lot of beginner artists, where they make a mistake. They don't really get the blueprint right, and they just start shading and coloring straight away, and then essentially with the end result, they realize there's something off, and they kind of, you know, try to fix it, but it's hard. It's not that easy to fix it unless you're an experienced artist. So it's better to build your blueprint in a good way in the beginning, and then you can, you know, start working around it. Do you draw anime? I can draw anime. There was a period in my life that I would draw anime. I might even do it today after I do the portrait that majority gonna vote for. I'll just show you like what is the difference between like even classic animation is basically making a proportional distortion and making it animated, you know, not realistic, but also kind of understanding that it's a person or a crocodile or whatever, you know, in an animated style. So anime goes under the same rule. It just has a specific details to it, and that's what makes the difference between anime and animation. Okay, I'm just gonna sharpen my pencils and gonna look into the pole and see which one is leading. I'm gonna choose the one. Okay, that should be good enough for now. I'll show you the stages, but for now, let's just pick the one. Okay, well, apparently Jon Jones is winning, and the poll. That's actually a harder task, so... Okay, Jon Jones, here we go. I'm gonna take, just for the reference, because I try to stick to it, to the realistic. I need to see the character, so I need to get the picture to just use it to help me. So I'm using it as a reference. Let's see, Jon Jones. Okay, I'll take the first one I got here. Yeah, it just needs the internet work properly, but that's basically the one, and that's a good one because it is like a light background, so I'm not gonna have to focus on the background either, and I can just I'm just gonna keep this one and start working around it. Guys, maybe I will, stop, step by step, talk a little bit more with you. But so, when it's a more detailed portrait and stuff, I actually need to be able to focus. So feel free to have conversations with each other and just engage and stick for the final result. I'm also gonna try to go as fast as I can, okay? I'm not gonna stretch it out way too much. So now I'm gonna focus, like I was saying, I would focus on building the blueprint, okay? And because that's a specific person, I'm gonna try to make it as realistic as possible. Different ways how do you build there are very good ways how to learn how to build a character, a person, a portrait, doesn't matter. There are certain ways how to really learn the blueprint, building up the blueprint. As I said, for me, I'm actually doing I really do a lot of it's just not improvising, but using the skills that I already just worked. It's like knowing, having English as your original language. You kind of know it, but you might not know or remember grammar exactly, but you know it. You know, you can teach English, but maybe not delve too much into detail. So this is kind of where I'm at. Okay, I need to lean over it a little bit more so I can see like a proper proportions. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's try to build the proportions. Now I'm gonna put the, you know, the certain lines and to see what is the distance between the hairline, the eyebrows, eyes, etc. It is individual in everyone. That's why we have different faces. Okay, try it like this. Jon Jones has a very interesting forearm, like a very defined forehead. Sorry, not forearm, forehead. So that is one of the details that I already can see, and I'm gonna try to really, you know, put it into the, you know, he sucked eyes, so his eyes are directly lower. You know, some people has a fox eyes. He's opposite to that. You know, he has quite a big different distance between his eyebrow and the kind of the eyelid. See. You know, I'm not rushing anywhere, so because I want to build up the blueprint in a good way, I rather spend time there to then okay, let's see. He has quite a big, so because his forehead is very like defined, like this part, so you need to get right measures like between this part. Usually it's like this part and it's like even, but in his case the edge of the forehead is very defined, so it's like entire shadow. It like looks very pronounced, and that's why I need to get the right proportions here too. Okay, let's see the difference between to make sure that if there is certain mistakes I have, I have a kind of ability to correct them. Sometimes like it's literally placing, you know, like this part is usually hard to define exactly how wide it is. So sometimes it might feel that, okay, it really looks like it, but it's a little bit like we would widen it up, right? So we need to leave the room for basically just being able to correct that mistake. See, let's just put some basic. Okay, I hope I was yeah, I don't know how long I was off because I was not even looking at the screen, but seems like Okay, just let me know if I'm back, if it's a better connection now. Yeah, I hope you're gonna get back, guys. Now it seems like 2 views, but yeah, I gotta watch it. I'm now just below a busy high. Okay, 10 views. Okay, it seems to getting better now. But yeah, anyways, let me just check time as well, so I have enough time. Yeah, I have around an hour here too. So yeah, right now I'm trying to draw Jon Jones, okay? So I'm putting the proportions on place. So he has the interesting mustache. This kind of like, it's kind of the covering the upper lip. So you know, it's a lot of shadows, a lot of black here. So it's you know, trying to put it in the right position from the very, very beginning. Let's see, where is his lip. Jon Jones honestly has quite a good, pleasant face. I would say that, okay? So it really, I think, is very good. Very good, very interesting. You know, and his eye expression is like a very, it's a killer's eye, you know, like killer's eye expression. Okay. Let's see. He has quite a big lips, like. Okay, trying to put his lips in place. Very interesting. Upper lip and the like lower lip ratio and the like lip line is very interesting. Okay. Yeah, making sure it's all in the right position, okay? Well, how are you doing, guys? I'm Georgian, yes. This is my husband responding in chat. Making sure that I feature the mouth line in the right way, because it's gonna make him look more serious, okay, guys? And more dangerous. So he's not smiling in this picture, so I'm just trying to put it in the, as I said, right position. Okay, that should be good. This little line under his lip, his beard. Okay. Making sure that his head is not too small. Sometimes, because your face lays in a certain position, you're gonna change the outer lines, and that's why don't make it too dark from the very beginning, okay? I'm gonna have pretty much the basic blueprint put in a place pretty soon, and I'll show you this first Jon Jones portrait blueprint. Okay. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Really appreciate you being here, okay? So here his ears, because in the picture he's looking a little bit like from above. So he's all the features kind of come up as well, and no, I'm not watching Canelo Crawford fighting right now. I mean, it's not. What is it? What day is today? I think it's tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And yeah, I really want to watch it. And I don't know. It's going to be an interesting fight. Crawford is very technical boxer. Canelo is very strong boxer, like physical strong. So I don't know. Let's see. Okay, just making sure, trying to put all the details where they're supposed to be, okay? Some ear positioning is very important, where you put your ears, you know, comparing to the eyes, and so you would compare the light where you position the eyes and your nose, and you compare the ear position to these two spots. Okay. Yes, one ear especially is like a cauliflower ear. Never noticed it on Jones specifically, but yeah, that's what I can see now. Put that ear shape approximately where it should be. And yeah, his beard line goes quite low, so his chin gonna end up somewhere here. So this picture is with Jon Jones with the beard, quite long one. So gonna try to put it in the proper shape, and it already starts looking like him a little bit, okay? It actually doesn't look bad at all. Doesn't look bad at all. I'm gonna show you it soon. Yeah, getting there. Yeah, trying to position his jaw now, his hair, like his beard line, all of that. Put it all in the right position from the very beginning. And if there's something, I can always change the position, you know, I always can correct that mistake. Okay, defining the eyes a little bit more. Yes, very dropped eyelids, which makes his look even like heavier. Eyes are very important, guys. This is how you put the character. So if you put eyes in the wrong position, that can mess up the whole work. see another eye. So I'm just making more definition of his eyelids. I already noticed that I need to direct them even lower, okay? Make sure they go even, they're more sucked. Okay. Mr. Jon Jones, you're looking good. Okay, that doesn't look bad, I guess. You know, he's like back to his very, very pronounced forehead. But yeah, make sure if you really want to see the result, you need to stick to the live. I'm gonna show you the middle, like, you know, I'm gonna show you how it looks now in a bit. But I'm still putting the blueprint. I mean, I didn't even start doing anything major. Okay, just to make eyes a little bit darker so it looks like. Okay, let me just look at it properly. Okay. Let's see the eyebrows. Also, you gotta be careful with the eyebrows too, because it's you know, don't make them too defined from the very beginning, you know, because it's usually some shadows there. You know, sometimes they're just it's there a little bit darker, not because it's dark there, it's just because of the shadow kind of laying there. Okay, so we're trying to get it there. Okay, so I'm move to another eyebrow now. Hope you're doing well, guys. I don't know, by the way, how often she draws on live or if it's the first time she does it, but it's a good idea. It makes her content even more diverse while it remains interactive but in new ways. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hi to new people here. Okay, well, I just want to get to the point where, you know, I already, you know, have the blueprint in. So there is last touches when it comes to the character, okay? If you really want to build the character and there is, like, you know, certain things to it, you know, like, it's like little details. For example, even if it already looks like Jones, you know, his looks are usually like kind of not giving a damn kind of look, you know, he's like, you know, so there are certain details to make that look. Like right now, for example, I make them too bright and too positive looking, whether it's also because of lack of shadows, but, you know, you just gotta understand that it's like, you know, there are those details where I'm gonna edit with the more of the, you know, shadows and stuff later on. Yeah, that's a little change in the line. I'm gonna make the eyeballs smaller. the lower eyelid. You know, like there are certain wrinkles, the nasal wrinkles, the mouth wrinkles, you know, that line. And obviously there are shadows, okay? So you kind of make a line to it, but like right now I don't make it too dark or anything like that, because there is no point. Okay, and now I'm moving to the head area again. Really trying to get his hairline in the proper, a really proper position. Yeah, that goes a little bit higher. That should be good. This. Well, I think I'm gonna show you in a bit, guys. Just have a little patience. So even though his forehead is quite round, his line kind of comes up, but it kind of it makes more slightly square. So even though it's very round, you know, there is a little break here. So it's important to catch that one, not to break his, you know, that part of the character. You know, it's like those little details can make the changes. You know. Making sure that his face is not too narrow and it's all in the right line. Okay, because you have to consider there are like the light spots on the side, so that creates a little bit of this, you know, interesting shape to it, but it really needs to be featured by the highlights and making sure that his ears are not too small. So yeah, featured by the highlights and the shadows, all of that kind of stuff. Okay, some glider here. Okay, I think I got it finally. Yeah, I think I got that line. Yeah, I'm trying to get there, but it's always something comes up that I like, you know, you see certain details to like make sure that it's all correct. Like his head shape is very, like pretty much perfect, like a very good head shape. So going even wider. Like his jaw, his head, like are trying to put the ears approximately where the, like, you know, all the breaks in the ears and all that kind of stuff. Just approximately, you know, because I can change it in case if there's this cauliflower ear on this one side. No, it's just approximate. And I think, yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, his head is way trickier than I thought. Like, drawing his head is quite a tricky thing to do. I'm trying to figure out where it has to be, okay? The right line, the hairline and all of that kind of stuff. Let me actually try it with the shading and stuff. I hope you're doing well, guys. Hello from Spain. Hi. Hi, I hope you're doing well. Just there's certain shading that has to be done from the beginning just to put the character in, you know, like just to have his like massive forehead put in the right place, because like right now it's just like a big white spot and it doesn't really reflect what is his actual head shape. So it's like a lot of shading has to be done. Making sure just to put the right line, you know, like just his head shape. I think now it's getting like close to the right one. Okay, this is the master shading here on, obviously making his ears a little bit darker, so I'm just also applying like a general shading, okay? Like shading that I can change and darken up and, you know, make it just like slightly different and stuff. There's a darker mustache. Try to make it, you know, so it doesn't mess up the whole look. Okay, getting there. That's pretty much. I know I've been saying that for now quite a long time, but You know, it's just a matter of actually putting the right blueprint in the spot. So now I'm doing like a very thick lines. Okay. Okay. Okay, just coloring his beard a little bit, and just to make sure that it's in the, like, you know, it kind of looks good. But there need to be more details to put to make his look, make him look dangerous. Because Jon Jones is one of the baddest fighters in the history, right? So we don't want him to look like a teddy bear and stuff like that. So yeah, going with the beard a little bit lower. Yes, that looks more like it. Making eyebrows a little bit darker, giving him a little bit more serious look. So, okay, now I kind of went to this like a heavy line art, like just, you know, doing those tricks. And yeah, I mean, the character, I think I pretty much put it in the right spot, but there's still things, you know, there's still some important stuff, some important features to be put in place. His neck is as thick as his chin, okay? Okay, let me see. A little bit more. Just adding some lines and more lines to define his important features. Yeah, sometimes I can get obsessed, guys, so just letting you know I can get obsessed over the, those kind of things. Okay. Yeah, still a lot of work to do. I think one mistake I did slightly that I'm gonna try to fix now is his mouth is a little bit way too up. Yes, and I think, yeah, I need to lower his lips generally, both upper and lower lips. I don't know, guys. He needs more shadowing and stuff. But yeah, it's not exactly him yet. Because you see, he has way more definition, and I need like a darker shadows here. So I'm gonna try to, yeah, just try to make it better with the extra shadowing. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not exactly good. I can see the certain things, and I really want to make him look bad, like, like he's the baddest fighter in the world. So we're gonna try to, I'm not gonna go exactly too dark, okay? Because I also have limited time here, guys. I think I'm gonna have to move to some other place. I'm gonna try to just to put the character in, not like a full work. I'm gonna use some darker features to just get that look. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, yeah, the darker shades is way better. It really lines better and creates more of the closer look towards to him. Define his eyes more because he has quite big eyes, very pronounced. Try to make it darker eyelid here, like this. Okay, that kind of looks better. Yeah, that really starts looking better. Darker areas around the eyes. Yeah, that is the part that makes him more look like a Jon Jones. Yeah, one second. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, unfortunately, I kind of lost the sense of time, but I'm gonna try to just get it now there. At least I'm gonna try to get his beard in place, you know, and those shadows that I already managed to put in. Okay. Okay. Well, shadows definitely made like a darker shade. Made it definitely better. Let me just make sure that it a little bit looks like a little closer to what it's supposed to look. And then I'm gonna have to move to the other place. Because yeah, the people here try to close up. They try to close up and yeah, I mean just don't want to hold them back for too long. Making sure that's like all right places. Like his forehead was way more, you know, I'm just going like it's through the fast. The fast coloring. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, like it's getting more there, but you see this area is more like the eyes needs to be more defined. Just don't have time, guys, right now. So at least before I move to the to the other place. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, this part needs to be more increased. These eyes need to be get more defined because like the eyes may give them that look. You know, the forehead needs to be more sussed out. There are many places, but I think the mouth and nose getting in the right place. But as I said, you know, there's still not the finished work, and we can finish it still. Let me just see. Charge is still good. I'm just gonna move. I'm just gonna start moving to another place, okay? And basically, I'll just try to finish this one, okay? Yeah, it's coming together. That's a good wording for it because that's what we want. We want to make sure that it's coming together. An important part is we were building that blueprint that is pretty much letting me to get it in the, you know, right, give that right look from the very beginning. And then from that blueprint, you can just, you know, try to make it look better and stuff like that. But yeah, let me just make sure that I'm taking the charger with me. See, I'm not forgetting the charger. Okay. Yeah, let me get out of here and, well, yeah. Thank you guys for all the positives. Bye-bye. Okay, let me just get to another place, okay? So, what do we have here? But a lot of places are open now, so it won't be a problem. There is this little Vietnamese place, and I'm gonna see if I can get the place there and just keep drawing, you know, try to get